Okay, sometimes we don't have a very clever segue into it, but we're talking about the Steelers, and I got a hat that's not black. Even though they're black and yellow, but hey, it stands out. I look like I'm wearing a hard hat. So, hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2024 recap episode. So, let's be frank. Surprisingly, there's a lot of YouTubers I follow that I respect. Some of them urinate on trees, and some of them are just chisel Adonises themselves. But they're diehard Steeler fans, and it's kind of nice to see two perspectives. One has the oblivious nature of the Steeler fan nation, and the other one has the realism of the Steeler fan base nation. So, quite frankly, two gentlemen have given me a perspective on basically the two different pendulums of a Steeler fan. And besides, of course, its history as a Steeler nation, it's been really weird to root for Pittsburgh week in, week out, season in, season out, and just realize they make the playoffs. But it's like saying you ate that fungus. Yeah, I did. But why did my tummy hurt? That's what the Steelers are. The Justin Fields and Russell Wilson experiment, we'll call it, was kind of like, sure, why not? And I think for the most part, I mean, Pittsburgh's season, I had them initially predicted 9-8 and 7-10. I put 9-8 really just to say because they're gonna do it. They're gonna go 9-8. They'll sneak into the playoffs, get smacked in the mouth, and then they'll go home. Like that's what I thought the Steelers were going to be. 7-10 was basically like, this is the year they will have a losing season. And probably be the sad reason why Mike Tomlin will get fired, because after his entire career of never having a losing season, he did it for the first time in year 70 and be like, aha, now we can fire him. And I'm like, you know he's gonna be picked up like by the Browns next week. Like that's how Mike Tomlin still has that sense of aura of, hey, he gets us into the playoffs. Let's just work with that for now. He gets us into the playoffs. Let's just work with that. But the Steelers, in a surprise, went 10-7, double-digit wins in the regular season. And for a good portion of it, they were 10-3. And then lost 4 straight. They were on the cusp of winning the division. Not just making the playoff. There was no more backdoor last man in, first man out type of mentality. It was, we're going to be division champs. We're going to host a playoff game. Steeler fans, get your warm coats, get your mittens, get your obviously, flask that's clearly not coffee to sneak into the stadium to get buzzed and drunk while you watch your Steelers team in January, where the field is as brown and dark as the mud outside the iron factories and steel workers. Get ready. We're going to have Heinz playoff home game for the first time in who knows how long. But we didn't, did we? We end the season on a sinking ship. But we just made it to the port known as the playoffs, where we were sent home because, of course, the Ravens happened to be there. I mean, I always find it kind of like a very sick joke that when you make it to the playoffs and your division foe, your rivals are there, it's like saying, ready for round 3? Loser! So, and that game was just like alright, I guess I can start working on something else. That's how bad the game was. But not doom and gloom. Before we get to the more negativity of the world, also, you guys got DK Metcalf, still have no quarterback. Don't know what you guys going to do right now. Aaron Rodgers, last time I checked, coordinates recording, he's in the facility, or he's visiting the facility. So at the time of this recording, which by the way, I'm just going to do a quick refresh on the ESPN page to see if Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. I'm going to do a quick NFL.com check just to make sure. Breaking news, which is kind of funny because this video will probably be posted a few days later. So when I make this announcement recording, You kind of know what day it is that I'm recording this video. So let me look. Let me look. Let me good. I'm on NFL.com. I see nothing about Rodgers and Steelers. I see nothing. Nothing. So, moving on. Talking about the Steelers. Best game. Your best game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my humblest opinion, took place Week 10 at Washington. Like I said, 1-point victories are wonderful, 1-point losses are not. Now, you may say, is it really the best? I mean, both of you guys came in with similar records. And you both ended with seven victories already. So that was something there. Plus, it kind of gave a situation of, could the Steelers compete with a rising threat? I mean, I don't think people were praising Jaden Daniels yet, but they're thinking that we need to pay attention to Jaden Daniels for potential offensive Rookie of the Year kind of candidate. We need to consider that. But this was a game that I kind of felt like, let's see what Pittsburgh do. You guys were on the road. And looking at it, Wilson was 14 of 28, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Daniels had 17 of 34 for 202. The rushing attack were basically mediocre. Pickens had 5 for 91 yards and a touchdown. Yards-wise, 312, 242. Time possession, okay, 36 to 23. But other than that, it was just a good old-fashioned football game. Good old-fashioned game. No one felt superior. No one was blowing the people out. It was a good old-fashioned game on the road. And I think at least it gave Steelers fans thinking we can win close matchups against good teams in Russell Wilson. We can do that. I think that will give the positive of it. Especially hindsight's 2020, we realized that, wow, Washington is really good. And Steelers fell off in December for some reason. Don't know. Don't drink the eggnog, I guess. Or someone made a wish on a wishbone on Thanksgiving, and that would doom them. You know, voodoo magic and stuff. So, to me, this is their best game. It showcased that they can meet adversity on the road and prevail. That's why I think it's their best game. To me, that shows me like, okay, we're week. What was it? Week 10. Basically halfway through the season. We smacked a up and coming team in the mouth. Yeah, good. Your worst game, though, took place during my Christmas. Week 17 versus Kansas City. Now, I have no idea what I was expecting. I think a lot of it was maybe because Mahomes had an ankle injury. And I just couldn't help but feel like, you know, the defense was thinking, blood in the water! Blood in the water! Let's get him! And Mahomes basically took a sensu bean and literally, I feel like when he was running more, scrambling, even if the guy was wide open, I feel like he still would scramble. Mahomes was basically saying, ankle don't hurt! Ankle don't hurt! Ankle don't hurt! That's what I felt like it was. Mahomes was just proving that into the NFL, saying, are you scared yet? You better be. Ankle don't hurt. Ankle don't hurt. Are you scared? Oh, ankle don't hurt. Oh boy, ankle don't hurt. So, and what's sad was that there were a lot of turnovers in the red zone that was just like, and even then the game felt like, I mean, the score was 29-18, but 13 of Kansas City's points took place in the fourth quarter. So it was 16-10 by the fourth. So there was still a chance the Steelers could pull the upset, even though Russell Wilson was kind of playing very sloppy. The game was in Pittsburgh, so you have the home crowd behind you. It's Christmas Day. The Chiefs had more attentions on Mahomes' health than anything else. There was that feeling of a letdown for the Chiefs, and that the Pittsburgh could steal a win. Especially when the division line. There was a lot of expectation for the Steelers to potentially pull an upset, but also that division was still there, potentially in their grasp. And they did it, and the score made it look like they were never involved, even though sometimes it felt like, no, they were. They just kind of shat the bed towards the end zone line. So it was the worst game, because it basically just proved it made I think the conversation after the game made every Steeler fans, the obnoxious and the realists, and then of course every ESPN, Fox News, broadcaster, FX1, whatever, where it's all saying, so the Steelers are gonna be one and done. We don't have to worry about buying division tickets to wherever they go. They're not going. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we all can agree. Yeah. All right, so Steelers are one and done and move on. That's how much they were already doubted about their playoff future, even though they were going to the playoffs. How sad is that? And that's why it's your worst game. Well, kind of gave it away. Your MVP for the Steelers goes to the same MVP that's basically been, and that goes to TJ Watt. TJ Watt, still as always, he had 11 and a half sacks. He didn't miss time with injuries, thank God. And he is still the only reason why the Steelers have a chance. Even if he doesn't get sacked, very much like I praise Chris Jones for the Chiefs, even if he doesn't get sacked, it's just his tenacity to harass other quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and whoever Cleveland picks, is the reason Steelers get turnovers. The Steelers why they force errant passes, they force punts on crucial third downs. Watt has that type of tendency, even though he may not get no statistical, marks on it, for just harassing the left tackle or forcing the running back to come in and block and just forcing the quarterback to throw the ball faster. He is still the MVP. It's hard to find an offense MVP lately for the Steelers when you just feel like everyone is based, the stats just seem kind of mediocre. I mean, looking there offensively, yes, Harris had 1,000 yards, but he's no longer with the team, so they didn't care about him. Russell Wilson was 16 and 5 in touch interceptions. Pickens had 900 yards. So nothing really in the offense do it, and you kind of felt like, man, if the offense was a little bit better, maybe we could have been. But once again, I think TJ Watt's still the defense is basically the MVP of the Steelers. Still, grade for the Steeler Nations. Making the playoff is always considered a success. But even in my preview show, I kind of feel like they were going to make the playoffs and then just be out, and they were. So I'm not going to say I predicted. I think we all kind of knew it. But I can't give you guys success because you guys got into the playoffs limping on a losing streak. So I'm going to give you not a failure, but I'm going to give you guys a better luck next time. Better luck next time you guys actually show up the last month and a half of the season and give momentum to your players, to the fans, organizations. Because until then, you're the same old Steelers. We have a spot reserved for you for the playoffs. It may be the last seat on the train. Well, we basically are pulling a Meryl Streep and saying that spot is for Pittsburgh. That's for you guys. Because we know somehow you're going to find a way to get in. The question is, you're not going to get beyond the last cart. So we got you a ticket for the playoff train, and we also got a ticket for your exit the same day. That's how confident it is. So until Steelers fans, especially the realists, see more confidence, it's going to be the same thing. 9-win season, 10-win season. We're in the playoffs, lost by 30. Sad but true. So better luck next time is the grade I have to give you guys. Now, draft picks. I went all in on receivers. And then you guys did the DK Metcalf thing. Not hating the pick. I think it's phenomenal. And the way you guys are at the draft. So I had Mbuka. I had Matthew Golden. And I feel like if Pickens somehow becomes too toxic, which I feel like that's another thing that is probably cursed for Steelers. You get great receivers, Brown, Juju, Claypool, and now Pickens, and they all become a-holes. They become obnoxious a-holes to the point where you're thinking, dude, I don't care if you win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Just get the out. So let's just say Pickens becomes too toxic, and the Steelers couldn't risk it. So I'm going to say they'll get another receiver to team up with Metcalf. Metcalf is proven to be a little bit more of a professional and a little bit more of a, professional. So let's say, they go receiver still. Mbuka, Golden. But if they want to stop, maybe want to go improve that defense a little bit, maybe they go get Alfred Collins, the D tackle DN from Texas. I'm sticking with that mainly because the question becomes Pickens. If Pickens becomes more problem than he's worth, then maybe that's the problem. But the DK Metcalf thing really made me go, ugh. But I already made the charts. I already made the predictions. And the time is recording, it's been a few weeks since that trade happened, so I'm sticking with what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I believe. They will go. I think they'll still go receiver because Pickens is too much of a wild card, and he's basically just one outburst away from pulling another Antonio Brown and just taking his shirt off and just walking away into the sunset. That's what I think. And that's the Steelers. So next time, we're going to conclude the AFC North by talking about the Baltimore Ravens, as once again, they, very much like the Steelers, they are who we thought they were. Except, no, they are who we thought they were. They make the playoff, win the division, win a playoff game, lose second round, make it to the division, make it to the conference, lose, and makes you wonder, what more could they do? That's basically the title for them. But until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.